There we go. Okay. Hey everyone, welcome to our Sunday session. We have a special guest today, Anamika, who again we know through Nitya's community. And so we've known each other for like a few years now, mostly online. I don't think any of us have met you offline, Anamika. Soon, hopefully. So yeah, I don't
Sure.
want to say much about the session and everything. I know Anamika will do a great job. So it's been lovely. Everyone we meet through Nitya's community, so many of them bring so much value to our lives, and it's so heartwarming to sort of have this, like this feeling of our tribe that's always there. So special to have you come and present with us in this new initiative of ours. So over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Smita. Thank you, Smita, Shubhra, and also, it's just proper to thank all of you and Puneet. So, yeah, today we are going to acknowledge our negative thinking. So, before we start, all of us have come from some place or are anxious to do the next activity in our lives. So, let's just focus on what's happening in the present and do what I call as a presence practice. So, just sit with your feet on the ground, keep your hands, your palms open on your knees, facing upward, downward, whatever is convenient to you. And keep your back erect. That's very important. And either close your eyes or just soften your gaze. So look down, don't look right in front. Bring a smile to your face. And if you believe in a higher power, then invoke that higher power to be with you in this journey over the next 1 hour. So the first thing we do is we scan our body from the top of our head to the tips of our toes and just relax. So when you scan with the mind's eye, if you detect any stiffness, just relax. Any tightness, mentally just relax the body. Physically, I sometimes find my shoulders are hunched, my eyebrows are knitted. So I have to specifically pay attention to those parts. You can scan your body and just relax in whatever way. Don't forget to have your spine erect and notice your state. What state are you in at the moment? As your body begins to relax, bring your attention to your breath. No need to regulate your breath in any way. Just observe your breath. As you breathe in, your stomach expands. And as you breathe out, your stomach collapses, the abdomen. Breathe in, breathe out. The abdomen expands, the abdomen collapses. So get into your even rhythmic breathing. Now bring your attention to your mind and notice all the different scripts and windows that are open and running in your mind. And just like you would close your windows on your computer screen, gently and firmly close all the screens, all the windows, all the thoughts that are going on in your mind at the moment. Get your mind to a clear and calm state. So you have a relaxed body, even breathing, and a clear and calm mind. Now bring your attention to your heart. Feel the warmth of your physical heart. And then bring your attention to your emotional heart, which is somewhere in the center of your chest, near the sternum. And open your heart little by little so that you can express your feelings, your emotions, your vulnerabilities, and also accept the feelings and vulnerabilities of the others. Now become aware of where you are. What sounds are you hearing? What are you feeling on your skin, your feet? So become aware of the context in which you are. And finally become aware of this energy field that is all around you. And slowly expand this energy field to include everyone in this call today. And also get included in others' energy field so that we are all enveloped in this warm, fuzzy ball of energy. We're all connected, we're all together, even though they are physically, they are all apart. Now repeat after me. I have nothing to defend. I have nothing to promote. I have nothing to fear. The only reality of this moment is that I am here now. I am here now. Take your time. Slowly open your eyes. Just stretch your arms, wiggle your toes, wriggle your fingers. Just get your circulation moving. When we do any meditative practice, the circulation slows down. Just need to, wriggle and get that back. Great. So welcome to this session. And before I start, let me introduce myself to all those who don't know me. My name is Anamika. I'm a graduate in mathematics, postgraduate in computer technology, and I've done my MBA from IIM Bangalore. I live in Mumbai in India. My corporate life of about 18 years spans organizations like TCS, Deloitte, KPMG. Two important years in my life. One was 2007 or 2008, when my daughter was 3 or 4 years old, and I came back from a trip to the US, which I was away for 2 months, and she took 5 seconds to recognize me, right? Who's this woman type? And that was the time I actually gave up my corporate life because I said it's not worth it. Of course, at that time I was a director at Deloitte, so like been there, done that. So it's always not the same thing for everybody. So don't just say, okay, I've become a mother and I have to leave my job. And the next defining year for me was 2016 when I went through cancer. And people say, oh, you're a cancer survivor. I say, no, I'm not a cancer survivor. I'm a cancer thriver because I thrived after that. It was like a springboard for personal development for me. And then I trained myself to be a cancer coach and a holistic well-being coach. And that's what I do today, helping people in their mental, emotional well-being primarily. This is how you can reach me. I'm all over social media, but in a very limited capacity. But yeah, there's my initiative is called Joy Hamesha. So for those who may not know the Hindi language, Hamesha means always. So there's joy within us always, right? That power, that joy is always there within us. And if only we pause to listen to ourselves, to find that joy, then then we don't really need anything else. Then it's always there with us. Joy is always there with us, something that we are keeping on finding. So there's Facebook, Instagram, which I post something every day. LinkedIn, I do once in a while. I've still to make this. YouTube, and also in Spotify, I think about every week I try to post something which helps us just to uplift ourselves, be inspirational, joyful and fulfilling life. What is it that you need? So have a look. And this is my WhatsApp number. You can take a screenshot of this. And I'm available on WhatsApp, though it doesn't ping every time there is a message. So allow me to, reply to you in my time whenever I see it next. Great. So let's start. Can you identify with any of these? I'm anxious all of the time. I'm frightened of people. My loneliness is very, very intense. I have difficulty expressing myself. I cannot control my temper. I cannot focus on anything. Everyone is against me. I cannot assert myself. I'm a total failure. There are times I want to hide under the covers. So share in the chat box which of these apply to you. Just put the numbers. And also note these numbers in your journal. I hope you have a little piece of paper. If not, in your phone or somewhere, just note it down, because we're going to revisit these at the end of the session.
So Anamika, this could be, it may not be this heavy also, right? It could be something that comes up occasionally. And
yeah, so obviously this is not a exhaustive list. And if they don't exactly apply to you, so be it. There are more such things. Absolutely. Smita, good. Thank you for bringing that. Yeah, these are just some representative statements.
Correct.
Okay, so there are some responses coming in from Sunil, from Jaya. Anybody else wants to share? Okay, even if you're not sharing on the chat box, that's great. Just make a note, or even make a note of, as Smita said, some other thought that is coming to your head. Yeah. So welcome to the world of negative thinking. And these thoughts are characterized either by permanence. We say it's permanent. I'm always like that. I'm always a failure. Or it's a pervasive thing, right? That I'm a failure here and therefore I'm a failure always, right? There's no compartmentalizing. So it's always in life. Or there's a personalization. It's all because of me, right? It's my fault. I did it. So we are going to explore these facets of negative thinking in this hour. And so objective will be to first understand the psychology of negative thinking. Why do we think negatively, right? When there is so much goodness all around. There's something called the thought cycle. So we will try and understand that thought cycle, which is prevalent in our lives. We will learn how to address negative thinking. So when we have negative thinking, what is it that we can do? And finally, practices to avoid negative thinking. One is to address once it happens, and then how do we try and not have negative thinking as much as possible? Nothing can be eliminated 100%, but whatever it is that we can do to avoid. So what is a thought? Anybody wants to share? What is a thought? Can put it, there are not too many of us, so if you want, you can also unmute yourself and say it. Yeah, Sunil?
I think any idea that comes into your mind.
An idea that comes into your mind, absolutely. Anybody else with some other definition?
A string of words or a sentence from a conditioned mind.
Okay, some words, some sentences. Yeah, it's that constant stream of dialogue that is going on within us, right? A constant stream of chatter that is going on in our minds. That is what a thought is. Research says that we get 90,000 thoughts in a day. Yeah, 90,000 thoughts. And most
Wow.
of them are repetitive. So I think about 80% of them are repetitive. And an equal number of them are negative thoughts. Yeah. Because rarely do we just have a thought, right? It's not just one thought. It's all different thoughts that come into it. There are sub thoughts. From one thought, we go to another one. From that, we go to another one. And slowly, it also goes into something totally, unrelated. So let's say a friend of mine was supposed to call me and they did not call me. So the first thought that comes up is, oh, my friend did not call me. Then why did they not call? Did I do something to upset them? Are they angry with me? It just goes on, and suddenly it's a real, I'd say it becomes every drop of those thoughts fall, and it becomes a puddle where sometimes we even drown in that. So that is where we are. Our thoughts are, uh, so overwhelming sometimes that we are not able to even go forward. Every thought of us. So I'm a certified Heal Your Life teacher. For those who don't know, that's Louise Hay, where she says you can heal your life. Her seminal book is called You Can Heal Your Life. And if you have not read that book, I would suggest all of you to get a copy of that book, keep it on your bedside table, and just open any page and read how much ever you feel like. And slowly, you will get into, you will find that there is a lot of truth in what she says. So she says that every thought, yeah, is like a seed that you sow in the fertile soil of your mind. So your mind, you're sowing that thought in the mind, and that seed, obviously, every seed will sprout, become a plant, will have fruits and flowers, and well. So remember that it is a seed that we are planting in the fertile soil of our mind. Now, why do we get so much negative thinking, right? We are always so good at thinking. We always think of the bad things that have happened rather than the good things. We always think of the, criticism we have received rather than the praise that we have received. Always tend to think negatively. Psychologists call this negative bias. Yeah. You can again Google and find out more about it. I will only say this much at this time, that this is part of our evolution, right? When we were hunter-gatherers, when our ancestors were hunter-gatherers, that time this negative bias actually helped them, right? Because if they thought of the worst that could happen, if they thought of all the fears that were around them, it actually protected them. It actually helped to keep them safe. And that is where the genesis is of the negative bias. Today, we are not hunter-gatherers. We are not in that environment all the time, but we continue to do that. We continue to behave in that way because of our ancestry, because of our history. Yeah, so just this much of why we. Any questions at this point? I'll pause for a minute. Okay, so let's go to the thought cycle that I was talking about. So we think about a thought, and that thought gives rise to a feeling. Based on that feeling, then we act. And that action again reinforces that thought. So that's what goes on all the time in our head. What we are thinking is affecting what we are feeling and acting. What we are feeling is affecting what we are thinking and behaving, acting, behaving. And how we act also affects our thoughts and feelings. Let's take an example, okay? This is what I'm thinking. I'm a failure. Life is difficult. I hate my job. Nobody understands me. If this is what I'm thinking, what feelings will those generate for me? You can use the chat box or unmute yourself. What feelings will these generate for me?
I think mostly it is anxiety.
Anxiety, yes. What
Discomfort,
else?
anxiety,
Sorry? Sadness, frustration. Sunil?
discomfort,
Discomfort, yes. 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 So all sorts of things. You will feel helpless, you'll feel angry, anxious, you'll feel worthless because you're a failure, discouraged because nobody understands you. And therefore, how will you behave? Yeah, with their tightness, disappointment, yes. Low self-esteem, yes. How will you behave, therefore?
yeah, anger, frustration,
Yeah, those are the feelings. How will you behave? How will you act out? You will hide under the covers, yes. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, because you're a failure. Nobody understands you. You have a horrible job. I mean, where is there any hope in life, right?
shout, take it out on others. Yeah,
Yeah, so you will have low confidence. You will absolutely avoid and withdraw. You will get irritable. You will sulk and complain because nothing is going right. So you will keep on complaining. You will take everything personally. It's all about you. Yeah, when I think about taking everything personally, I am reminded of this book. I'm going to give references to books. Yeah, it's a book called Four Agreements. Yeah, uh, Don Miguel Ruiz, is that what it is? Does anybody know? Anyway, it's four agreements. Okay, so only four things in that book they say you should do to lead a joyful and fulfilling life. And the second agreement is don't take things personally, because as soon as you do that, you have allowed that toxicity to enter your system. Anyway, more about that when you read. Yeah, so this is how the thought cycle works. Yeah, now let's change our thoughts. I tell myself I'm an achiever. Life is beautiful. Setbacks are just a part of life. And now that I don't like my job, I know what type of job I don't want in future. And I'm learning to be more optimistic. These are the thoughts that I'm feeling. If these are the thoughts I'm feeling, these are the thoughts I'm thinking. See how we actually confuse or merge thoughts and feelings. They are two different things. Okay, this is what I'm thinking. How will I feel? What will be going on in my heart?
happy,
You'll be happy, absolutely. What else? Any other feelings? You'll be expansive. There'll be enthusiasm in life. Absolutely.
enthusiastic. Yeah,
Yeah.
Less stressed.
Sorry.
Less stressed.
Less
less,
stressed. Yes, of course. There's no stress because everything is beautiful, right? So you'll feel confident. You feel worthy. You feel optimistic, joyful, calm. Everything. All the other things that everybody liked, friendly. Absolutely. Because everything is so beautiful. And how will you behave, therefore?
Your
kind,
behavior will be
Compassionately.
Sorry?
I was just
the
saying compassionately and more accepting.
You will be passionate, more accepting. Yes.
compassionate. Yeah,
Yes. Somebody else was saying something.
you would be you would definitely have a large dose of confidence,
You will have a large dose of confidence. Absolutely.
and your whole approach or attitude would be more positive and more pleasant.
Absolutely, Vinita. That's well said. So you'll
positive
be
attitude.
energized. You'll be open to possibilities. What else can I learn? What else can I see? You'll be curious about life, and you'll be focused on your self growth, right? How can I grow? How can I be a better version of myself from yesterday? So this is how we actually create our lives. Our thoughts give rise to feelings. Feelings make us behave in a certain way or act in a certain way, and that then reinforces the thoughts. And this cycle goes on and on and on. Yeah. So this is a very important slide, and I want everybody to read it. I will give a time pause after I have read it. that no person, no place, no thing has any power over us. We are the thinkers. We are creating our reality with our thoughts. Nobody's putting the thoughts into our head. Thoughts are coming, right? So when we create peace and harmony and balance in our minds, that is what we will find in our lives. Take some time to read it, internalize it, reflect on it. Yeah, and questions will come up because that's not how we have gone through life. Many of us have not gone through life in that way. So just note it down, and maybe by the end of the presentation, the answers will come. Some answers will present itself.
So Anamika, I have a question. Can I ask now or should I wait?
You ask it, and I'll see whether it has to be addressed at this time. Go ahead.
Well, the thing is, these thoughts don't, I'm not planning to think these thoughts. They
Correct.
somehow involuntarily just show up in my mind.
Okay. Noted. I will address this at the end of the presentation. Okay, so let's look at these three things we talked. The permanence, where we say all the time, my God, all the time it happens to me. Or pervasiveness, something happens here, it also happens there in my life, and personalization. How do we address them? Okay. So we've just seen that once we change our thinking, can change our reality. Yeah. We saw the two different thought patterns and how they create our feelings and therefore our reality, right? And Louise Hay in her work has talked about affirmations, right? So if my thought pattern is X, then I create a Y affirmation and I say that every day till it becomes my normal thought. Yeah. We are beginning to address Sunil's questions. So it may sound untrue, right? Because that's not what your reality. Your reality is X and Y is the opposite of X. But as we say them, the thoughts, we have been saying that for whatever time, 40, 50 years, whatever is our age today, right? And now it will take time for our thoughts to change their direction, to change their flavor. And we have to keep at it. It's not going to happen in one day or 1 week or 1 month, maybe not even in a year, right? But slowly, slowly we can do that. And let's see how we can do with these three parameters. First of all, nothing is permanent, right? We know that. Nothing stays. It may be prolonged. Some sufferings are prolonged. Some sufferings are there for a short time. But it goes in time. Sometimes the suffering is for 10 years also. Some people suffer for years together. But then there is an end to that, right? So nothing is permanent. This too shall pass. You have to say this. It's like a mantra that you have to say all the time. This too shall pass. When we see the entire picture, sometimes it becomes very overwhelming. How will I do that? So focus on taking the next step, one step at a time, right? If you are in a jungle, a dark jungle, and you don't know how to go to the end of the other side, you just start taking the first step, then the second step. Slowly, slowly, will reach the end of the jungle, right? But if you think of the entire picture, it's all pitch dark, there are animals here, this, there. If you think of all that, then it becomes very overwhelming. I'm giving a very extreme example, but I think you get the point. Let go of any internal resistance, right? Whenever we fight with reality is when we suffer. So as Smita was saying, we're all part of Nitya's community, and he says this very beautifully that pain will always happen. I'm forgetting his exact words, but the suffering, that is optional. We decide if we want to suffer or not. When the pandemic came, there were many people who were totally dejected, depressed. Everybody's at home. I can't go out. My children can't go out, etc., etc., etc. There were some people who said, "Okay, this is what it is. This is where I will work. This is my workstation. This is my spouse's workstation. This is my children's workstation. This is how it will be. This is the chores that you will do. This is the chores that the other person will do." And that is how our life will go on now, right? So if we resist reality, because reality has happened, it's like the milk has spilled, right? Now there's no point in crying. The best thing to do is to mop up the spilled milk. Otherwise, it will solidify. It will be more difficult to clean, right? So just let go, accept. Again, a book that comes to my mind is Surrender Experiment by Michael Singer, where he talks a lot about how he surrendered his life to whatever was happening. And it's a beautiful life that he has created for himself and for his community. If you're feeling overwhelmed, ask for help. Now, a lot of celebrities talk about mental well-being, right? There's Elton John talking about it. There's Deepika Padukone talking about it. And it helps us to know that even them at their level, with their fame, their riches, they also are struggling with some mental issues. And it's not, shameful to ask for help if required. And gracefully receive the love and support. We all are very good givers, right? We selflessly give our time, our money, our attention, everything. But if we only give, then suddenly we will be empty, right? So if we receive love, support, gracefully accept it. When you receive a compliment, for example, "Oh, job well done," many of us says, no, it's okay, nothing great, or it's a team effort. It's a very common refrain, right? That I didn't do anything, it's a team effort. Accept that compliment. Say thank you. Thank you for acknowledging my effort, for appreciating my effort. So this is a skill that we all need to build, right? Gracefully receive, not to become proud and let it get into your head, but gracefully receive. Nothing is pervasive. Yeah. Cannot project one situation into the other. Yeah. I've been a good student all my life, A's and B's. And I received my first D in a subject called financial accounting. Okay. That's something that is not me at all. First D in my life. But that is not, I am not a D in other parts of my life. In all the other subjects, I'm an either A or B. So let's learn to compartmentalize our life. That this is what it is. Here I can do, here I cannot do. Yeah? Enjoy and embrace the small pleasures of life. So take time to drink your cup of tea or cup of coffee. Go for a leisurely walk in the park. I have this habit. I go to the park quite often, and I don't know what it's called. It's that little thing that you take out. It's got soap water, and then you blow the bubbles, right? And I do that. I just go to the park and do that. And believe you me, there are others now who do that. So they have also got this thing and started doing, because it's really so liberating. Like, there's a song, Devanand movie, Har fikr ko dhuए mein udata. I'm not doing it in dhua, I'm actually doing it with a soap bubble. So just let go of everything. Be grateful for all you have, cannot be in any way undermined. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude for all that we have. We are always asking for more, the next promotion, the next car, the next house, the next holiday, whatever. But there's so much that we all have. Most of us in this call are people who we have Zoom, we have Vizen, we have everybody, everything, right, going for us. So be grateful for all that you have. And this is, we start with our first affirmation. So The affirmations are said, put your hand out. You're in the process of receiving. So everybody put your hand out. Or if you think of Shah Rukh Khan, that's how he does that. Close your eyes. Yeah. Shubhra, great putting your hand out. I loved it. Everybody, put your hand out, close your eyes, and repeat after me. Every experience in my life is working for my higher good.
It's working for my higher good.
Every experience in my life
Every experience in my life
is working for my higher good.
is working for my higher good.
Yeah, you can write it down, take a screenshot, whatever. So when I say I went through cancer, at that moment it was the most horrible time, right? There's chemotherapy, side effects, hair fall, everything is going on, right? But today I can see that experience actually helped me to transform my life. And you can see that goodness in an adversity only after that emotional charge is gone, right? So while you are in that situation and you're emotional about it, you will not see any learning or any higher good in it. I mean, what is higher good in going through cancer, right? But later you see how it can transform your life. That's what happened for me. I could see that. So once that emotional charge goes, it's easy to see what is it that you can learn from that experience. So nothing is permanent, nothing is pervasive, and don't take things personally. Okay? If I say something bad about you, it is me, it's my opinion. It's not that you are bad, right? Like there's an example which says, if I say you're a pink elephant, you'll say Anamika is mad. But if I say you are fat, or you're a failure, or you're a horrible person, then you will take me seriously. Why? Yeah. So instead of saying why, ask what now? It has happened. Now what do I do? Yeah. My story comes to my mind. I will tell it at the end if there is time. For this why. Why me? We are always saying why me. Right? Now instead of that saying what now? What can I do? So instead of blaming, take responsibility of your life. As we said, nobody has any power over your life. You are the thinker. Because you're the thinker, you are therefore the feeler and therefore the doer. And with what our actions, we form habits, and those habits become our life, right? So that's our life.
What?
Somebody has to mute themselves. Yeah. Yeah. So make a transition from blaming to taking responsibility of your life. It's your life, you're responsible. Yeah. I'm not obviously talking about people who are, in a very difficult situation, who are being abused or, in a very extreme situation. Hopefully none of us are in that situation. But otherwise, blaming, oh, you said this and therefore I got angry. You said this and therefore I got upset. No, you can say whatever you want. I have the option to not get upset. Easier said than done. Easier said than done. Everything happens with conscious and consistent practice. Conscious and consistent practice will get you anything in life. Yeah, like how we studied when we did our exams, right? Consciously and consistently practice different question papers, take from last 5 papers from other institutes, etc. Then only we got the marks that we got. Yeah. So consistent and conscious practice. Another affirmation, let's again put our hands out, close our eyes and affirm. I am doing the best I can with the knowledge, skills, and awareness that I currently have. I am doing the best I can with the knowledge, the skills, and the awareness that I currently have. Yeah. So when I started, examining my life, reflecting on my life, I realized one of the things that I did very often was to get angry. Yeah. Because at that time, I knew and I was told that getting angry makes the other person do what you are asking them to do, right? You get angry, you shout, and everybody will fall in place. That was my understanding at that time. Today, I know that when I get angry, I affect my body more than I affect the other person, because that other person has not changed. After 2 days, I will shout at that person again for the same thing. But I have, in the process, stored that emotion and started the process of harming my body. Yeah. So I don't criticize or feel guilty for what I did earlier, because that's the understanding, that's the knowledge, awareness that I had at that time. Today, I have a different awareness. I have a different knowledge and a different awareness. And therefore, I am being differently. It's not that I don't get angry. So if you ask the spouse, he will say, oh, I'll get angry. And he'll say, I thought you were not getting angry. What is this? You're getting angry. I journal every day, okay? What I did, what happened, what triggered me, etc. So I know that the 10th time, that there were 9 times that I didn't get angry. The 10th time that I got angry is what he is seeing. The 9 times that I didn't get angry, he's not seeing. But I know I have made the progress. So today, sometimes I do it, okay? I say, see, this is what happened. I could have got angry, but I didn't get angry. So please notice that I don't get angry all the time. Yeah. So, yeah, that's how we go through life. Now, how do we prevent negative thinking, right? This is what we do once we get the thoughts, tell ourselves that nothing is permanent, nothing is pervasive, and not take things personally. To prevent, we have to get into some self-care practice. Okay? Some of us must be already doing it. If you are not, please start today. I have just listed some 5 of them, and there could be others. Some reason it's not going. Here it is. So gratitude, I've already talked about it. Live in the present moment. Forget about all the guilts and all the regrets of the past, or the anxiety and the fear of the future. It's not that don't learn from the past. I'm not saying that, or don't plan for the future, but don't ruminate in that. Expand yourself. Somebody said something about expanding some time back. So live in the present moment always. We forget to live in the present moment. We're always thinking of the past or the future. What's happening now, right? Let's enjoy that. Don't compare yourself. Everybody is unique. We all look different. We all have different body shapes, different body size, different abilities, different education, different jobs, different expertises. So there's no point in comparing ourselves with others. If you want to compare with yourself, what you were yesterday and what you are today. Yeah. Don't complain. No use. Complaining is of no use. Nothing happens, right? We just keep on complaining. And again, that negativity is being stored in our bodies. Yeah. And it will, in some form or shape, manifest as illness. Need not be cancer. It could be anything, even something small. Have fun, right? Even if you believe in afterlife and rebirth and all, this life you will not remember, right? So just have fun. Everything is there. As I said, most of us have everything. So just have fun in life. Smile more. The more you smile, smiling is a great immunity booster. Okay, I don't know how many of you have read this. Used to read this magazine, Reader's Digest. there is to be a column which is called Laughter, the Best Medicine. Yeah. So it is actually laughter, the best medicine. There's a gentleman called Norman Cousins. He had some life-threatening disease, and he actually, went to a room and kept on seeing this Groucho Marx movies, and he laughed himself back to health. You can read his story on the internet. Norman Cousins. Yeah, so just have fun. Just take a minute to think of one self-care activity that you will start. From today, even if you're doing some, maybe you can add to that list. I spend 3 hours every day on doing something for myself. It could be writing, reading, coloring, listening to music, knitting. I knit sometimes. Going to the gym, swimming, walk, park, whatever it is, for yourself only. What is something that you can do? You can share in the chat box if you feel, but at least write down even if you don't share. Meditation, gratitude journaling, great. Walk and journal consistently, lovely. Movement is very important for the body. So walking, gymming, anything to keep the body parts moving. Take pictures, nice, nice. That's photography, that's what you mean, Sunil? Okay, great. Zentangles, yes, Shubhra, learned that from you. That's such a meditative practice, right? Also, all of you who are part of the BZen community, I guess you've attended Shubhra's art sessions. So all that BZen does, right? The art sessions, the chanting, the breath work that Puneet does, everything is that something that we do for ourselves, for our own well-being, for our own health. Yeah, yeah, great. Thank you, Vinita. Okay, so that brings me to my last, we talked about this right in the beginning, right? The 10 things that were there. I hope you noted down which ones were applicable to you. So if you believe in these, this is how you will affirm. Your affirmation will be like this. So if you're anxious, if you say, I'm anxious all of the time, you say, I'm at peace. Yeah? You believe that you're frightened of people, say, loving comes easily to me, especially when I love and honor myself, accept myself. My loneliness is intense. So your affirmation will be, I'm safe, it's only change. So Sunil, this is how we make that transition. So whatever thought is there, to plant the more positive thought. And the affirmations, very important to know, is always in the present tense. Okay, it's never will be. It's not I will love others. In it, so because if you say will, then it's always in the future. It never becomes the present. So it's always written. Affirmations are always written in present. And as I said, just like any negative thought is also a seed that you are sowing in the fertile soil of your mind. Similarly, a positive thought is also a seed that you are sowing in the fertile soil of your mind. And it will germinate. The seeds do look nothing like the plant, right? So you have to wait for it to germinate, fructify. You have to wait for it. It happens in its own sweet time. So make a note of this. You can take a screenshot. And if you have any of these beliefs, note down the affirmation that you want to. What is more effective in affirmation? Writing it every day or just reading, verbally repeating it? Either way, actually. Okay. You can either say it, look in the mirror and say it so that it becomes more stark, or you can even write it. Either way. Either way. But what you have to do is consistently and consciously practice. Again, you have to say the affirmations consistently and consciously every day. So whenever a negative thought comes, you have to consciously say the affirmation that you have decided for yourself. So keep your affirmations ready somewhere, okay, in your diary or in your phone somewhere, where if that negative thought comes, immediately you can shift to the, see, because the negative thought, it goes on, we said, right, into different sub thoughts. Similarly, if you stop that train and you interject a positive thought, then again you will get positive sub thoughts. You can also, if it's not affirmation, you can also think, you can keep a thought ready of let's say a good holiday you had. So some negative thoughts are coming, think of that holiday. Oh, it was in the beach, we had this food, and then you go on, had this food, we visited this place, we played some board games, we did this, we did that. So then your mind goes in that direction, it takes that train of thought, right? Okay. And finally, I want to leave you with this affirmation. Again, put your arms out, close your eyes, and repeat after me. Everything in my life is unfolding perfectly in the right time, the right place, and in the right sequence. I release all worry, all fear, all doubt. I enjoy the present moment. In the infinity of life where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. In the infinity of life where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. Yeah, this is an affirmation I say every day. It's one of Louise Hay's favorite affirmations. They're in all her guided meditations and affirmations. So that's the end of my presentation. Any questions, any reflection, anything to share? Happy to.
No, I think this was a really good experience. Thank you for sharing your insights and wisdom. I think the value is in practicing it.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, these what do you say, these sessions that we have, all of us attend in different this is like a satsang, right? We talk about, we go somewhere and we hear nice things and we feel very good about it, and then we forget about that. Oh, you have to go back and decide on that one thing that you will practice. And that's why it made you write that one practice, one self-care practice that you will start if you haven't already done it, right? So that, and then consciously you'll have to do that every day or regularly, whatever it is, every week, something. Yeah.
I think,
Anybody
Anamika,
else?
somebody wants to see that slide of affirmations.
Yeah, they're asking,
Okay.
will you share the deck, Anamika?
I think I can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put it on the group then. Okay.
Yes. Absolutely.
Thank you, Anamika. This was really wonderful. I
Thank you.
appreciate, like this going back to very basically where our thoughts are going and how it's making us feel and how we are acting. If we can just, continuously watch ourselves, at the thought level, at the feeling level, and at, the action level, then it'll become like, it'll become like a practice.
Yes.
And like you said about, how we have to change the thoughts. So, it comes to my mind that, when you are gardening, you have to make an effort to take the weeds out and plant the
Yes.
right seed.
Yes.
If you don't make that effort, then the weeds will automatically take over. So the negative thoughts very easily take over. And
Beautifully said.
for the
Yeah.
garden to to do well, the good seeds have to be planted, weeds have to be taken out. So that's just the effort. It's a continuous
Beautifully said.
ongoing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for this.
Since we have 2 minutes, I'm going to tell you that one story that I wanted to say. When we say why me, when things go wrong, right? We say why me. And I don't know how many of you have heard this story. I'm going to read it in the interest of time because otherwise I will take more time to say that. So this is a story about this gentleman called Arthur Ashe, who was a African American, and he had won the Wimbledon, Australian Open, French Open, and he got infected with AIDS during a heart surgery. So he was dying of AIDS, and one of his fans wrote him a letter saying that, why did God have to give you this terrible disease? And he is supposed to have replied that there are 50 million children all over the world who start playing tennis, put our children into tennis class. 5 million of this actually learn to play tennis. Out of that, about 5 lakhs of them learn professional tennis. 50,000 come to the circuit. And from that, only 5,000 reach the Grand Slam. About 50 people reach the Wimbledon. They play the Wimbledon matches. 4 reach the semifinals. And 2 people reach the finals. And he says, when I held that cup in my hand, I never asked God, why me? So now that I'm suffering, how can I ask why me? Yeah. So let's get into the habit of asking why me for all that is there in our lives. This story always moves me. Whenever I say it, I feel very emotional. That we never ask why me? Why do I have such a lovely house? Why do I have food on the table? Why do I have so many clothes? My cupboard, is overflowing with clothes actually. I never ask why. Why do I have all this? So let's start doing that. Let's start being grateful for what we have. And things will miraculously change because you will not really want or not really think of what you don't have, because we all are living abundant lives. Yeah, that's how I would like to end. And if there are any other questions, you all have my number. If you want, you can connect with me later on WhatsApp. And looking forward. Thank
And
you.
Anamika, I just want to take this moment to say, I can tell you how you shifted the energy from the beginning. When we started the call and you wrote those things, and I was trying to identify, do I feel, and maybe some of them I feel, sometime how much,
Yes.
it was a heavy feeling. And
Yes.
from there, what a turnaround, what a Shah Rukh Khan open hand moment for me. And you just told us that, hey, you already have these things. You just brought our focus back to some of these simple things, some of the things which I feel we do, but at least for me, I'm not consistent enough. And then I let go of them and I'm back to the loop.
Yes.
So thank you so much for being.
So can I give a little tip on how to do that?
Yes.
Checklist. I will do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And every day, put your attendance.
Yeah.
Every day attendance. Yeah. For 5 things, I have a list of 20 things. So I can see, you can't do 20 things in a day. But I know that, okay, I have not done this for 5 days. Now today I can do that. But you have to consistently put your attendance. So actually have an Excel sheet or make take a square sheet paper and mark your attendance every day. Be accountable to yourself. That will again shift a lot of things for you.
Wow. That's amazing.
Thank you.
I
Thank
have
you,
a
Anamika.
book
Thank you,
called
everybody.
saying, intentions and reflections, but it's supposed to be consistent. But I don't do that. So I like the Excel idea. Just a tick would be very effective. Thank you.
So then right? Okay, I have not written for 3 days. Now today I must write. It's okay, you didn't write for 3 days. Today I must write because 3 days ho gaya re baba. Then then it becomes consistent. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Great. Thank you everybody for
Thank
being
you,
here.
Anamika. As Shubhra was saying, different people have different ways to sort of bring a consistent practice in their life, right? For Puneet, Shubhra and I, doing this is one of our ways to sort of be in touch with this. Like that's
Absolutely.
amazing, right? Like if nobody else, if we said, if nobody turns up, the three of us will do something, and that's going to be
Yes.
good, right? So, and for
Yes,
me, I
yes.
realized start with just, if lists overwhelm you, if things like that overwhelm you, just start with one affirmation a day that you just wake up and say, like, that's it. And your whole day will, the whole energy changes for the whole day, right? So
Absolutely.
it's about start baby steps, start simple, but they have huge power to change. And thank you so much. You've shared so much wisdom today. Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
we're very
Bye-bye.
grateful.
Bye-bye,
And
everybody.
anybody who wants to
Thank you.
revisit it, we will have the recording. So that's the best part that, but thank you so much.
Thank you,
It was
Anamika.
amazing. Thank you.
Thank
Anamika.
you,
So you want to
Vinita, for
share
being here.
about upcoming sessions?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right now I'm too happy and blank right now.
You got carried away.
We have our sessions as usual next Sunday. I think it's Puneet next Sunday who's doing a lovely loving kindness meditation. And we have chanting again as usual Monday mornings tomorrow for those who've registered. So that's happening. So yeah, and we'll keep posting on the group. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.